guys, so in this video I'm going to do the Ugly Books Favorite Spines and Rainbow Spine tag. So I'm going to start with the ugly covers, and the first one is A Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway. This is a book that I got from my parents' collection, so I'm not really sure where they got it, and the cover is just kind of boring and doesn't have much going for it. Next is The Queen's Confession by Victoria Holt. Aside from being a little bit damaged, this is just a really ugly picture. Here it is a little up close, and then it's got the same face on the back. And then the pages are orange on the outside. Why? I have no idea. And the next one might actually surprise you because it's The Secret Garden, and I actually showed this in my Pretty Books video to show you the illustrations on the inside, but I think this cover is really awful. This yellow background with the red font is awful, and then this green, all of this green stuff is kind of like watercolor, and it's all over the back. And then these pictures are not that high quality of reproduction, and so they don't look that great. Someday I would love to own a really beautiful copy of this book because I know they are out there. Next is To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm sure there are very beautiful editions of this out there, but this is all text and nothing else, and it has this huge fake sticker right on the front, so yeah, not so great. Next is Fahrenheit 451. I'm not really digging the colors on this cover, and the black background with just this burnt book here just is not a really great design. I might just have to get the newest edition that they're coming out with. I haven't seen what the cover looks like, but they had a contest for it, so there are a lot of really amazing designs. Next is the Juvenile of Jane Austen and Charlotte Bronte. I don't really like this border that they have going around this part of it, and the painting has kind of just garish colors, and I feel like they picked it because it looks like a woman reading from around the time period when these two lived. I can imagine way better covers than this one. And kind of in that same vein is Great Expectations. If you look at this painting, the faces are just kind of not that great and a little bit ugly. There's also a ton going on in this painting, and it just doesn't really stand out. And to make up for those ugly covers, here are my favorite spines. Some of these were also included in my Pretty Books video, and the first one is this edition of poems by Emily Bronte. I really love this black and white design here, and then this gold part is a little bit shiny, and it's just really beautiful. Next is this beautiful gift edition of Stardust. This image that's on the cover here is also on the spine, and I think the blue and the gold kind of embossing looks really beautiful. Next is The Shadow of the Wind. If you look closely at the spine, I really like these details in here, and then I also just really like this font. You'll also see that this background is like a image of a leather book, so it kind of gives it a well-worn, loved feeling. Next is The Catcher in the Rye, and as I said in I think the book covers tag, I really love the bold graphic design, and that definitely carries over to the spine. This next book was also in my Pretty Books video, and that is Vanity Fair. This book was only made in around 1980, but I still really love the old-fashioned look that it has to it, and I really love designs like this. And lastly, for my favorite spines is Under Wildwood by Colin Malloy, and more importantly illustrated by Carson Ellis. And here is the spine. I really love the black. It's just so deep and really gives an excellent mood to the book. And then I really love these nature elements that she's incorporated. They look really good against the black. And now for the Rainbow Spines tag. I really like the idea for this tag because I really am a visual person, and as you can see, I like color. So for red, we have The Last Little Blue Envelope by Maureen Johnson. I first read 13 Little Blue Envelopes online for free when she was doing a kind of promotion thing right before this came out, and I really enjoyed it, so I pre-ordered this one and loved it. For orange, we have Little Bee by Chris Cleave, and this is one of the books that I got on my vacation haul, and I haven't read it yet, but I really love the cover, and the spine is definitely very orange. Now for yellow, I didn't have very many options, and I didn't want to go with another Maureen Johnson book, so I went with The Casual Vacancy. As you know, if you watched my recent video, I loved this book. I know that reviews on it have been mixed, but I think it's definitely worth a chance. And I personally really like the cover. It's not like the most beautiful thing ever, but I really appreciate the hand-drawn typography both in her name and the title. Coming from an art school where there were people who could do things like this, I really admire it. And like the Catcher in the Rye cover, it's really bold and really striking. And this black X is really ominous. For green, I went with a similar idea and chose The Half-Blood Prince, also by J.K. Rowling. This one is actually one of my most favorite books and movies from the series. For blue, I went with The Return of Sherlock Holmes by Conan Doyle. This I have also not read yet, but I will someday definitely. I just want to read the earlier stories first. And for purple, like a lot of other people, I didn't really have many choices, but luckily I found The Girl in Hyacinth Blue, which definitely has a kind of violet-y color to it. This is a book about the artist Vermeer, and it is really good. I also really like this spine because of this kind of detail in it. And here are all the books together. I think they look really great. All three of those tags were really great ideas and I really enjoyed it, so if you want to, you definitely should. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. And lastly, for favorite spines is Under Wildwood by Carson Malloy, most importantly illustrated by, did I say Carson Malloy?